This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the juggernaut, Joe Joyce. We're here in Manchester for Joyce-Parker. How are you, Joe?
Yeah, doing very well. Relaxed as always. I'm just ready for fight night now. Got the weigh-in tomorrow, and then yeah, we go. Both Joes go at it to see who's the better Joe.
Both Joes go at it indeed. You went at it a little bit at a press conference up there. It strikes me from the outside looking in that you're two really nice guys who don't really have a lot of trash talking in you. Do you think that's fair to say?
Yeah, that is pretty fair to say. I didn't really know what to say because there's not really it's tough because we're both ready to fight and we just want to get on with it. And fight night's coming up now, and you know, may the best man win.
It seems like to me that you two could be friends if you weren't fighting each other on Saturday night. Do you think there's potentially a friendship in the future for Joe Joyce and
Yeah,
Josie
I
Parker?
mean, I was friendly with him before. Like, we met in Vegas a couple of times, and so yeah. It's but like at the end of the day, we're both going to be punching each other in the face and body come Saturday night. So we need to like put that aside and just get to work because it is a sport, but it is a brutal sport.
Now, the word that's been thrown about, and it was thrown about then again, is lump. You're a lump. Now, do you think your boxing ability is being underrated going into this? Do you think people just look at the juggernaut and they come forward and they're underrating you as a boxer?
Yeah, and I think like there's he's saying about speed, but I have timing and I've experience and I'm like tough and stuff. But like this, I'm not only like tough, can take a shot and throw lots of shots. There's also more to my game as well.
What are you expecting from Joseph Parker on Saturday night?
Well, I think he's going to be quick and he's going to be like technically good. Like, he's technically good. He can take a shot, and his footwork and head movement might be hard. Like early on, he'll be definitely game throwing shots and that, trying to nick the rounds. So it's going to be really tough fight.
Salas said up there, and we all know Salas has been around the block and then some. He said you can run, but you can't hide. Are you expecting Parker to be on his bike on Saturday?
He could be. He could try that. Yeah, I don't know exactly what his game plan and tactics are, but we'll find out. And I've got plenty of plan A, B, C, D for him if he changes up.
A lot of the talk at the minute is dominated the heavyweight division. It always is. Anthony Joshua and yourself, I saw comments that you were talking about a video that he'd been caught behind the scenes talking about your ABA fight. What can you tell me about
that? Yeah, I just thought it was a bit like smug, like because he had it easy, like really, because I had to fight another guy on the same night while he watched, and then he had like a massive group of support with me, and because I fought someone who's a southpaw, I was still really novice, just walking onto his right hands, and then I got three counts in the first round in amateur boxing. They're quick to jump in, and then the fight was over. I was like, what happened? I wasn't hurt or anything, and yeah, it was just stopped. But yeah, just for him to like, be gloating over the fact that he beat me like that, and I don't know, it's just bothered me. And like these comments and stuff. But then I kind of had a sense that he's something not right.
What's your relationship like now? Because obviously you spent a lot of time together on GB over the years. Are you cordial now? Are you friendly now? Or is it kind of very much business?
Well, I was always like, I'm always like friendly with people, and like I got on with him, and he's like funny. He used to be a little bit late to sparring a lot of times, like come in here and that. The big man, he's funny, but like yeah, it helps. Both helped each other, like get ready for our fights and that. And on the GB, everything was cool and everything. But as a pro, I hadn't really seen him or like cross paths with him to like chat with him or anything. So it's kind of relationship wasn't really there. Like he's very competitive, and when he sees me getting closer up to him, then he feels threatened, I guess.
Is that a fight that interests you as a pro? You want to get that back from the ABA final?
Yeah, I mean it's a great fight. Josh is always a big draw, etc. So. It would be a good fight if we was to fight for some reason.
Okay, well, final question for me, because there's an army of people waiting for you. You're a man in demand, the main event. I'll leave the final word with you on Saturday night. How does the fight end? Joe Joyce versus Joe Parker.
It's going to be a great fight. Technically and physically, it's going to be. We're both going to go out to see who's the best Joe, and yeah, it's just let's see what happens. Because all this talking stuff is one thing, but actually in the ring, we're both going to be coming at it, coming from great training camps and it's just going to be fireworks and explosive, and like see who's a better Joe.
This Joe by stoppage?
This Joe by stoppage.
Okay, well, Joe Joyce, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to ID Boxing. Best of luck on Saturday night.
Thanks very much.